Hey.
Eric and Luis here. In honor of Pride's half birthday, we have a very special episode for you.
Yes, this episode was filmed last summer around Pride of 2023, but we're so excited to share it with you now, so we hope you enjoy. Welcome to the Queer Compass. I'm Luis.
I'm Eric. We're your two gay besties.
And we're here to talk about lifestyle, career, pop culture, and everything else. Okay. Oh my gosh. Hello, Eric. How's it going?
Hello. Good. Your Botox is settling in well.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I'm kidding.
No, for real. No. I'm like starting to feel it. And it's only day, what is this, 3? It's only day 3. And I'm like starting to feel the difference. I feel but I can't wait for days 7 to 10. They're like 7 to 10 days. And I'm like, I just want to see the full effect.
You're going to be the mirror like,
I know. I'm already like the amount of times a day that I'm like this in the mirror. I'm like, okay, is it working? Is it working?
oh, it's totally working. I can already tell the difference. Like,
oh my
even
gosh.
just now. Yeah.
How do we? Just kidding. I'm like, everybody. Okay. Also, I want to talk about these shorts.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I fully thought they were Adidas, but please tell the people what they say.
They say daddies.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a little Adidas spoof. My friend sells these over in Silver Lake. It's called Horse and Horn. He has like caftans, all the stuff.
Oh, yeah. Work. I need to
Hilarious.
check that out because those shirts are so cute.
It's so fun.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm so excited for our topic today.
Today's topic is Pride.
It is.
We
oh
just
my
wrapped up the official month, but it lives on forever, of course. But yeah, 2023 was a big year for Pride for both of us.
Yeah.
How much do you know about how Pride started?
I feel like I probably know the basics.
I had to do a ton of research before this, to be honest.
No, yeah. You know what's so funny? So as we're talking about this, because the Stonewall Inn is like kind of how it all started, right? The riots at the Stonewall Inn. Recently, I went to New York when I saw Danielle and everybody, and we were out there, and we walked by the club. I had never been there before, and we walked by, and there was a whole sign out there. It was just so surreal. I mean, I know it's there, and obviously it's a big part of gay culture, queer culture, but it was just so cool to see it live in person.
That is really cool. And it's open for business still,
yeah? It's still open for business.
Incredible.
You can go in, you can, it's still a club. But the riots.
Yes, the riots started after the police raid.
Right, the police raid, which happened at the Stonewall Inn.
Yes.
So that kind of sparked all of that, right?
Nobody died.
Nobody died.
But it was intense.
Yes.
Followed by riots. Then the following year in many cities across the country, there were marches and more of a peaceful protest. Yeah, peaceful protest march. And it happened yearly.
Mm-hmm. Around that time, right? Around June, which is why Pride Month is in June.
Yes.
Yeah.
It sounds like it started more as a peaceful protest and then turned into a celebration as it evolved later. Mm-hmm. I was reading that someone noted even in the early days, it was a reminder, even the peaceful protests were a reminder of how LGBTs could get their family and friends involved. Mm-hmm. And so then it kind of turned into more of a celebration later.
Which makes total sense, right? Because at first, obviously it's a big part of the queer liberation. You know, that's kind of the purpose. We're trying to get these rights and make these movements happen. But it's okay, how can we start to include other people, or just naturally, I would hope that friends and family would kind of be okay, I want to march with you, et cetera, et cetera. It develops into this whole thing. Then it becomes a big parade, a big celebration, which now we see, right? You have a parade at Pride every year in different cities, and queer and non-queer people tend to be there, but whether it's family, friends, coworkers, whatever, they march in allyship.
Yes. You know? Yeah, definitely. It's a great show of support. When I think about how long ago, I know we do kind of talk about it it happened a long time ago, and I know 50 years or plus is a long time, but you and I both know people who lived during that time. Mm-hmm. And shortly after that, and during the AIDS epidemic, and all those hard times that our community went through. So I do feel incredibly grateful and lucky to be living and being able to go where we want to go and wear what we want to wear because of all the hard work that like everyone else has put in.
Oh, 100%. And really, you're right. It has not been that long because even as we were looking, right, like it was, 1999 or something that it was made like an official, June was made the official, first it was the gay and lesbian, like
Month.
Pride Month.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until Barack Obama in 2011
Yes.
that he made it a LGBTQ or LGBT, I think technically.
Yes.
Pride Month.
In 1999 was Bill Clinton.
Yes, Bill Clinton.
And then Barack Obama.
And then Barack Obama. I'm like, 1999, not that long ago.
Right.
Then 2011 for it to be like all encompassing of the queer community essentially is what Obama was trying to do. That was not that long ago.
And I also, when I was doing some of this research, I did notice like during the initial protests at the very beginning, a lot of the transgender women and people of color were excluded and silenced out, like throughout the marches and protests. So,
which is so crazy because also like, I mean, I know that back in the day at one point, a lot of the gay bars did not allow trans people to go in, right? Like it was they would kick them out, or they just were like, you're not one of us, quote unquote. And it's
God.
like, that blows my mind.
Yeah.
Because we're all fighting the same fight essentially, just trying to be who we are, but it's just such a different perspective.
Yeah. How do you feel when you see non-queer people at Pride or other like gay spaces?
Right off the bat, I love it, right? It's like, it's the allyship. You're like, if anything, I want more people to participate in that, to show their allyship. Of course, not just to participate, but because they want to, or because they're really like about the community and they support it. I think there is kind of like a, you joke, or like you see on social media, at least like on TikTok, there's all these funny jokes when you're on like Queer Talk. People are just kind of like, get the straights out of the gay clubs or whatever.
Yeah.
And I understand, like, we want our community, we want our environment. Sometimes we just want to be with our people. But at the same time, it kind of goes back to that whole idea. It's like, well, can we really say that? Because then it feels like we are creating that segregation again.
Right.
And that's not really what we're aiming for. I think the reason that happens is because non-queer people come in and disrespect our space.
Okay.
And that's what I understand. I understand, like,
course.
100%. If you're going to step into anyone's space, queer, non-queer, black, white, whatever, like the community is, like, you have to respect their space, and you have to be, like, don't go in ignorant. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I do understand that side of the, like, commentary.
Yeah.
But I also think, like, Xing all of them 100% is not the answer.
Right. Yeah. I do always feel good like when someone at work suggests, hey, we should march in the Pride Parade this year as a company, and that person is not a queer person. It always feels supportive. Or, hey, I'm going to come to Pride. Can I meet you there? Like, hey, I have someone with open arms in my workspace as well.
Yeah, I agree. And also just like, it's just even little things. Like, I feel like, I grew up with a lot of, let's say, straight girlfriends, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's like, so with that, as you get into your young adult years, I was going to like all straight bars, and straight clubs, which is fun, which is fine. Like, I love dancing. I love my girls. So like, we're having a blast. But like, not very often did they ever offer to go to a gay bar or a gay club. But when they did, I was like, wow, that means so much, because you're willing to step outside of your comfort zone.
Yes.
To like, kind of show your support, versus I step out of my comfort zone every time to go and show support for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it does, even the little things like that, like just wanting or offering or wanting to go to like a gay event or a gay club or like whatever it is. I think that shows a lot to me usually,
What about big corporations who support LGBTs?
Yes. Okay. I really do. There's been so many instances, obviously, recently with brands that will put out Pride merch or a campaign or whatever it is, but then they do not back it up. When it comes down to the nitty gritty and they get backlash for it, they retract and they like pull back and they're like, just kidding. What is that?
Right.
Like, that honestly pisses me off. That gets me so heated, because I'm all for, like, if you want to support, then support, right?
Yeah.
But it is clear that a lot of these companies just use Pride Month, and I'm sure many other months, to just like make money off of them.
Definitely.
But I also think, like, if you're gonna do I would like to see corporations, if you're going to put out like a pride campaign or a pride collection, maybe you're making money off of it, okay? But where is some of that money going? That money should be going back to the community.
Right.
And I want to see more of that. I want to see more of like the actual support going back into the community as opposed to just here's a rainbow, let's charge you $20 for the shirt.
Definitely.
That's what I want to see. But with that said, we've come a long way.
Definitely.
For sure.
Oh
I'm so
God.
grateful to where we are.
Yeah.
There is a big talk in the community about like, people just party for pride and they don't really take it seriously or they don't really remember the message, which don't get me wrong. I also party during Pride, but I think it is really important. And I think there should be kind of more of a message around the party, I guess, or whatever, to remind people really like what it means and why we're even doing this in the first place.
Right.
I am so grateful. Like, we are so lucky and we're so, I guess, in a way privileged to the fact that we don't necessarily have to think about that when we're celebrating Pride. Now Pride is a big party and we get to celebrate being queer and being proud.
Yeah.
And that is such a beautiful thing in itself.
Yes.
But just like anything, we have to remember where it came from.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's talk about our Pride experiences now.
Oh my God, yes. The juicy stuff.
The juicy stuff, okay.
We did a lot of Pride stuff this year by kicking off with
WeHo Pride.
West Hollywood Pride. You moved in like a month prior.
Yeah, literally.
And then it was Pride here
Pride.
in West Hollywood. I think one of the misconceptions about West Hollywood Pride that I realized firsthand this year is that like it costs so much money to get into Pride.
Yes.
There is a Pride ecosystem in West Hollywood during Pride. And there are free activities. They're really fun. We went to a lot of them.
Yeah.
A lot of the vendors are on the street. Yeah. There's a secondary place called Out Loud, which is in association with Pride, but it is like sort of this music festival portion of the Pride celebration. There's like a dance area, and then there's like the actual music programming, which is very reminiscent of an actual music festival with like giant stage programming. I'm talking no glitches with like sound.
Big name artists, Carly Rae Jepsen, like big names, Tinashe. Oh my God, so amazing.
Oh yeah, Jessie Ware, it was great.
Jessie Ware, oh my God, yes. Like there were so many big names. And also for those of like who might not be familiar with the layout of West Hollywood, it's like Santa Monica Boulevard is the ginormous street with all the bars.
Yes.
So like everything, that whole street is basically like shut down.
Yeah.
That's where all the vendors are. The bars are open. People are partying on the streets. Like it's a whole thing. There are like stages outside in that area too for free. Just like you were saying, free events. And then yes, in the park, you can pay to go in and go to that little like quote unquote music festival that they have.
Yes.
Which is massive. They have like, all the stages and stuff set up. It is crazy, but it is so expensive.
It is very expensive.
Which blows my mind because I understand it's like a music festival. It's 3 days long, that whole thing. But also it's Pride. And I feel like the whole purpose of Pride is inclusion.
Yes.
And that's not very inclusive to charge so much.
Yes.
For the people who just want to celebrate being queer and proud.
Totally. I definitely agree. I was impressed with the quality of the music festival.
Totally.
But after taxes and fees, I think each day was like upwards of $80-$90 per day. San Diego had some great names, and it was I think $20
a day.
Yeah. Was it a fee or a donation?
It was a fee.
It was a fee. Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
So you do pay to get in.
You do.
$20 to get in.
But $80-$90 a day is a lot to ask.
Yeah. All in all, the environment I feel like was really great. People were out. It was like sunny. The weather was fun, and everyone was just like excited, even just to be out and about.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Do you have like a highlight of West Hollywood Pride?
My highlight was in the music festival.
Yeah. Great artists.
Yeah. I would say I had just been introduced to Drama the weekend prior at Lightning in a Bottle. And I got to see her by surprise again the following week, 7 days later on Sunday. She's become like one of my favorite artists of the moment. Also, Carly Rae Jepsen. I know so many of her. I listened to a lot of her music throughout time, and I just like know so much of her music that I like loved it. It felt like a warm gay hug. Connecting with you, being introduced to your circle of friends, introducing you to like my circle of friends was like very cool.
And even watching Drama with you was like so crazy because I had no like knowledge prior, and I was like, wow. absolutely killing it up there. Like, so fun, so good.
Yeah, she's good. Do you have a highlight from Wing of Pride?
Artist wise, because since we're on the topic, artist wise, I have always wanted to see Tinashe.
Yeah.
And I am so happy that I did, because she's a dancer, she's a singer, she performs, like, she did it all, and I just love her so much. As a dancer, I like really like was living for the breakdowns and everything. So I loved seeing her for sure. And honestly, that was my favorite part too, the whole connection of the circles, because like we have known each other for a while now, but like, and we know kind of here and there some friends, but it was really fun kind of merging the two and just being able to hang and like parading down the festival and like just hanging out. And it was such a fun vibe.
It was.
Yeah.
I always get so nervous like mixing friend groups.
Me too.
Because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is for, like I feel like I have to be the mother where like, is everybody having like a good time?
Right.
You know, but like doing it around an event or like where there's like an activity to do is like pretty a pretty good catalyst to like mix people. Yeah,
because everyone's just kind of on a flow. They're doing their thing. If people want to go, like people can split and come back as they want. That in general, that's gonna happen, right? So it is really nice. But it was a good mesh.
Other prides you went to this year, San Diego.
Yes, I did go to San Diego. I performed. So much fun.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes, it was so fun. So I will say, like, I performed at San Diego Pride last year as well. And last year and this year, basically, I'm a part of, like, the show, the finale show on the last day, so Sunday night, which a bunch of local queens do. And they each queen, they, do their little intro and they have, like, little moments in between. But each queen does a set. And they always pick an artist and they do that set. So, like, last year we did Doja Cat. I was living my life. Also because, like, they'll pick choreography, like, little bits of choreography from actual performances. Yeah. So, as a dancer, I'm just living my best life, my fantasy. I'm like, I'm up here with Doja Cat, like, living my life. so this year we did Rihanna's Super Bowl set.
Oh, my God. Beginning to end.
Beginning to end.
Yes.
Some of the choreo was changed. Like, it wasn't the whole thing, but, like, moments were in there. And the whole like there was a part of it that just went viral, and like it was just so crazy. As soon as we started doing that, the crowd went crazy, and like the energy, the San Diego crowd, shout out, San Diego's my hometown, but the San Diego crowd always brings the energy. Like last year, the energy at the main stage was phenomenal. This year, the energy at the main stage was phenomenal.
Oh my gosh,
also
I love
David
it.
Archuleta was right before us and Saucy Santana was right after us.
Oh my God.
We were living. But yeah, the crowd is just always so good. They bring such a good energy, and they're always so hyped for like the queens and the performances. So it was really, really fun. And in general, like San Diego Pride definitely has a more like chill vibe to it. Yes. But it's still just lively. Everyone goes out to the bars after. It's a fun time. So
how long was your set in between David and Saucy?
So that's a good question, because probably like, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour or something like that.
So you're on stage dancing for 45 minutes?
No. Because
sorry, just kidding.
Yeah, all the queens do a number. So like I only dance with like certain queens.
Got it.
And like other people dance with certain queens. They broke it up.
But altogether it's 45 minutes of queens.
Yeah, it's 45 minutes because they'll do an opening number where they all like come out and they like have a cute little moment. And then like there's an MC. One of the queens will like kind of host it. Okay. And then she'll introduce like the queens and all that stuff. So like each queen has a number. Two of the queens did like a collab number together, and like there was another number that was thrown in there. So like, they play around with it a little bit. Yeah. But the whole show, I want to say is probably like 45, 50 minutes.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Wait, okay, so you also went to
San Francisco Pride. Yeah, we went to San Francisco Pride. It was super fun. We did Dolores Park on Saturday afternoon. Oh my gosh, it was so super fun. We went to like the Eagle in the evening, so that was really fun too. We had some friends who were like DJing. That was on Sunday. I guess Dolores Park. Did we do Dolores Park on Saturday or Sunday? Which day's the day? Saturday,
I think. Well, because isn't Sunday the parade?
Sunday was the parade. Yeah. So Dolores Park was Saturday. We spent most of the day there. I couldn't believe how. I mean, we had to like. Find a spot in the grass. I had never been there before, and apparently it's like a thing every weekend.
Yes. Like every weekend, but especially Pride.
Yeah. I just always find San Francisco's people to be very warm and friendly.
Yeah, totally.
They're always really nice. I think more friendly than usual. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're pretty warm. Like, oh, where are you visiting from? Oh, what are you visiting for? Like people are asking questions. You run into somebody you met last time you were there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because I used to live there too, right?
Yeah.
But I think a couple of things in general with the city. It's 7 by 7 miles, so it's not that big.
Yeah.
But that's why they just build on all the hills.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So it's really not that big. Yes, there's a big population, but I think it's just so easy to access the city that it really does feel like when like a parade or when something happens in the city, like for instance like SantaCon, you're like going all around the city, you know, and it's so easy to navigate because one, their bus system is really good, and two, it's just like smaller.
Yeah.
So it really does feel like the whole city's in on it together, and
Yeah.
I love that feeling.
Yes.
But I also agree, like I feel, at least when I was there, it's been a while now, but when I was there, it was just so easy to talk to people, whether you were on the bus, whether you were in the park or out walking around. Like everyone just kind of is walking around or taking public transportation or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a very community oriented environment.
Mm-hmm.
With that, yes, the gay scene as it is can be small anywhere. So I think it is, I do just like that community aspect.
Yeah.
Of it, you know,
They did have this as we were leaving the bars, like down Market, like down at the Embarcadero. There's this giant like laser system. Have you seen this?
No.
Okay, so like it's foggy in San
Yeah.
Francisco, so there's like automatic mist in the
Right.
air. So
Oh my
they have these like this laser thing shooting out a rainbow color, like a
That's
laser
amazing.
beam, like a horizontal laser beam of like rainbow, and it shoots all the way down to the Castro. So as you're like leaving, you look down and there is a giant rainbow like down the entire thing. It's like an art installation.
Oh my gosh, that's
But it's so
amazing.
freaking cool. It's very, very
Oh
fun.
my gosh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was cool. And we hung out with locals and like went to their little local spots, and we didn't do tickets to any big parties or anything. One of my favorite prides of all time is Palm Springs Pride.
Oh, work.
I discovered Palm Springs Pride by accident in 2017. Weekend passes. Oh, I'm sorry. Weekend VIP passes in 2017 for like the Desert Heat event were $99.
What?
Yes.
That's crazy. VIP.
VIP tickets. So it like wasn't a thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But they had like a few parties, 2 pool parties at the Saguaro, and you know, now it has turned into something much bigger. There's
Yeah.
a lot more going on. There's a lot of, you know, this, that, and the other. There's a lot of pool parties, stuff happening downtown. It's bigger. But we went, like, one of our friends was going to be there that weekend for something else. And he's like, oh, do you want to like do this thing on Saturday? There's a pool party, blah, blah, blah. We ended up buying tickets, went, and like had the best time. Smaller crowd, really, really fun.
Oh my
But
gosh.
it happens in November, so it's like after
Right.
all Pride season is completely over. And
Well, so could you imagine doing it in June?
oh
It'd be
my
so
god,
hot.
oh my god,
So November's probably a better call.
yeah, it's probably, I'm sure that's why.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, totally.
But it does end up being one of my favorite prides.
Oh my gosh.
I also loved Atlanta Pride. I've been to Atlanta one time.
Gosh, how fun.
Chicago Pride was super
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, every city's so completely different.
Mhm.
You know, how
Really.
people get into it or how they celebrate. It's
Yeah.
fun to experience different cities.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think I've really only done like California Pride. Oh, well, I've done Seattle Pride before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. I did it for a gig once.
Okay.
So we performed, and it was a cute. I like the vibe of Seattle too in general.
Yeah.
It kind of does remind me of San Francisco's vibe, you know, very like friendly and chill and warm, like whatever. But
Yeah.
but other than that, I think really just California.
Yeah.
You know, I would love to go to New York Pride just because like I've never been.
Same.
Yeah, you know, and it seems so amazing.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, Chicago. I love Chicago as a city, so
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be a fun Pride to go to.
Yes. How do you celebrate Pride or show your pridefulness outside of Pride Month? I can go first if you want.
Yeah, go first. Go first. Tell us.
I started wearing nail polish during one Pride season, and
That's so gay. Just kidding.
shortly after I like had nail polish on, I had like a meeting with my boss the next morning, and she like noticed my nails, and she's like, "Oh my god, that's so fun!" Da, 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 da. We had meetings later that day. I was like taking my nail polish off. I like got out, and like just kind of discreetly. I was just like, I got like nail polish remover, and was just like da 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 da. And she was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm just taking off my nail polish." She's like, "Why are you changing colors?" And I was like, oh no. I was like, we have a meeting with Michael later. You know, I just like, I've never met him before. And she's like, so what are you doing? And I was like, so she was like, this is one of my favorite things about the company I work for now. She was like, I do not want you to change your appearance for work. She was like, if that is something that you want to do, she's like, I would like you to keep your nail polish on. She's like, you're also welcome to wear, I like also like wore pants and like dress shoes that day. She's like, it's super hot here today. Like you're taking off your really nice shorts to put on hot pants. And she's like, you know, wear whatever you want to wear. You know, we're in mental health care services. Like you are like, we're treating all different types of people. Everyone is welcome here, including employees. She's like, I do want you to wear nail polish. I was like, that was one of the most meaningful things I've ever heard from an employer. So I continued to wear nail polish like kind of a lot. And my nail polish collection is out of hand.
Oh my God. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it.
It is 2 briefcases of like 40 plus nail polishes each.
I love it though.
But yeah, it's so fun. So I do like to like show pride.
Oh my God. Also, corporations, take note, because that is amazing. To really push that and be like, you should not change your appearance, because also it just shows that like we don't want to work with people that are not going to be accepting of that, right?
Yes.
And that's a huge thing.
Totally.
So amazing. Props to her.
I do think it's wise to protect yourself. I don't think nail polish is particularly offensive. So I do wear it.
But it is so funny that those little things are still ingrained in us,
oh my God,
right?
Totally.
It's like the code switch we always talk about. Like the code switch is very much when I find myself doing it all the time when I'm in front of a certain demographic.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, instead of like, hey, how are you? Oh my gosh, good to see you. I'm like, hi, how's it going?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you just like
oh my gosh.
really monotone yourself.
Yes.
Like for no reason.
And then sometimes it can come off as like, oh, you're being like arrogant or quiet or like judgmental because you're not talking or being like outgoing.
And sometimes I'm pleasantly surprised, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I really didn't need to do that, because the person on the other end, which is my bad judgment, right? Like I'm judging them just like I think they're going to judge me. But then it's like, turns out that they're like, I don't care. Why are you doing that? You know what I mean? So Absolutely. It is very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't wear nail polish, and I also don't feel like I don't know, dress like flamboyantly necessarily or anything.
You're wearing
like
pearls right now.
So I'm like, okay, work. So the pearls. But you know what? A lot of guys are doing it.
It is. Hey, when you're in Mexico on the beach, they're not leading with the puka shells first. They're leading with the pearls.
Yeah. Yes. And like, I guess it is like, I've seen so many, I guess, straight guys on TikTok like wearing them and stuff like that too, like social media. But that's so true. You know what's so funny? I literally just had a conversation during Pride, because San Diego Pride, I was out with these pearls at a pool party, right?
Yeah.
Literally pearls and like a Speedo. And I was just like living my life. And we have a friend who is notoriously like done up to the nines, you know, like one of those friends where you're like, okay, it's just gonna be casual, and shows up in like a full gown, okay?
Oh
like
my God.
I love him so much. He's amazing and
Fashion.
fabulous. Fashion, okay? And he literally like he's like he looks at me, he gets to the party and he's like, oh my God, I love the pearls. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. And he's like, oh, I always want to do the pearls, but I feel like I'm just gonna look like such a queen. And we're like, oh, because the pearls are gonna set it off. The pearls are gonna tip it over the edge. I died. I was like, first of all, what are you trying to say? But second of all, I was like, really? That's what's gonna do it?
Yeah.
I was dying. I was like, just wear the pearls. You know, like just wear the pearls. If you want them, wear the pearls.
Not you with a handbag and then telling me.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I was
like, oh, but the pearls are too much. Has a crown on his head. No, I'm just kidding. No,
oh my God, I love it.
But I guess little things like that I don't even really notice, right? But I feel like I live my life in like athletic wear these days, just because of fitness and everything. But I will say, like, I recently, in the past like year, when I was still in San Diego, you know, I got to know my community in San Diego at the Equinox that I was teaching out there and stuff like that. And I loved them. And they're all very like, I think they embraced my queerness. So I was just like, woo, I'm this like, whatever. So I was like, you know, now that I'm really just living in athletic wear, I was like, okay, I need to buy more workout clothes, you know, because that's what I live in. So I like started shopping around, and I was like, oh my gosh, all these bright, colorful, fun shorts. Like, pinks and blues and baby blues and purples and all this stuff. Like I was buying all these fun colors and fun patterns. And then like, and I was just like, and neon, neon stuff. And then I come up here, and maybe it's just because I'm like in a new environment, but like I go just to different gyms, and a lot of people are very much in the cool guy or cool girl mode where it's like monotone, neutrals, blacks, whatever. So I find myself thinking like, is this gonna be too loud? Especially because I'm instructing the class, so it's like I'm in front of the class, and I'm like, I find myself thinking that, which is so unfortunate, and like I know in my head that I shouldn't care and that it won't matter because we're in LA, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also I can't help but think like, oh, is this gonna be too much? But in that, like, it is what I have, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be ashamed to wear it. So I put on my colorful little shorts and I walk on over to the gym and I teach my class.
And there are probably people thinking, what a great sense of style that guy has. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I honestly didn't even think of that. Right.
Yes, I do think it's natural to have like a tendency to want to
blend in.
Yeah, like blend in or like adjust to the setting, but like also not to, forget your own sparkle too. Like I challenge you to like wear something a little loud.
Oh my God, challenge accepted, Eric. That is honestly, wow, I needed to hear that.
Yes.
I really did. Because I do feel like sometimes I am trying to like fit into the mold of like where I'm at. And I need to remember that like, this is who I am. And I know I'm a bright, colorful person. And this goes to anybody out there that's kind of questioning this. That uniqueness and that standing out is going to be your superpower.
Absolutely.
And like, I know it, but it's easy to forget it.
Yes.
And I literally just forgot it until this very moment.
And I do feel like it's probably a lot harder in other places.
Oh, yes.
Here in California, in the neighborhood we live in.
Well, and that's the crazy thing, right? We are living in such a liberal city, but even then, there are those moments.
Yeah.
So, of course, it's going to be harder in non-liberal cities. But
if you want a big challenge, wear nail polish. It's not easy. It's so not easy.
I don't think I've ever done it.
No?
Not like...
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
on Brunch on Sunday, we were with 3 people, and 2 of them had nail polish on. I can't believe you never wore nail polish.
Okay, that's going to be a next challenge. Because I'm not going to lie. I'm nothing against it. I love it, and I think it's fun. But sometimes I also am afraid to do it.
Easy first step, peel off base coat. You can do, it's like a gluey kind of like base coat, and then it comes off in like a day. Oh, so like if you want to change colors or if you're like going into a scenario like I'm nervous, you can literally peel it off. It comes off in one piece.
I love that.
So at the beginning, I was always doing peel off base coat. I was too nervous. I was like, if I get into a scenario where I'm like nervous and I don't want it, I would take it off and throw it away. It took me a while to get over it, for sure. And now I'm like full sparkle, fullness.
I mean, speaking of sparkle, lately, one of my best friends will literally put highlight on me every time we go out.
Yes.
Like anywhere. We were in DC, we were in New York, we were in San Diego. Like every time she's always like, because she knows I love it and I like want to sparkle.
Yes.
And she's like, do you want highlight? And she's like, you want highlight? And I'm like, I want highlight. And she'll do me up. And I will walk out, whether we're going to straight bars, gay bar, whatever. Granted, we're in big cities, but not that it matters, but it just makes me feel a little more safe.
Yeah.
But I go out and I'm just like living my life, and I'm just like, I'm out here sparkling. So that's a good little.
Where do you highlight? Here, where?
Here, and my nose. That's what she'll usually do. But do you ever do highlight?
Yeah, I often wear makeup.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, really?
Like not every single day, but like most days, yeah. So like I wear like a bronzer.
Okay.
And it's like a powder bronzer. Like I brush it onto my face.
Well, you do a really good job of making it look natural, because I literally, it doesn't look like, I'm not like, oh, he's caked on or whatever. Like it looks so natural.
Thanks. Yeah. The secret is not using creams. You have to use powder. Yeah. And then I do setting spray on top to like, and it's like a mattifying setting spray. So it's like everything is like matte finish. So it's like no giveaways.
Eric, you are about to change my life, because literally, no joke, I had my sister take me to Sephora to do like a color matching.
Okay.
Because, when I'm filming a lot of content and stuff like that, I'm like, if I have a blemish or two, I just want something to cover it up. I was like, I don't need a full face thing. But just a little concealer or something to like
Yes.
help with the blemishes. So she took me to the store, and after that little process, I was like, wow, I really do enjoy putting highlight on or putting a little something on, and I'm like, I need to learn how to do that. I need to learn how to do that.
Good stuff. Well, thanks for the chit chat.
I
So fun
know.
always.
It's so fun, and honestly, such a great reminder, and hopefully for you guys too. You know, don't be afraid, be bold, and be proud.
Wear the loud shorts.
Wear the loud
I'm
shorts.
checking in on you.
Yes, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it
it.
because some of those have been sitting in there for 2
Really?
months now.
Do they still have tags?
No. But
Okay.
because I've worn them in San Diego.
Okay.
But like, there's like maybe 1 or 2 that I haven't pulled out yet.
What color?
Neon yellow.
Yes.
And well, I have 2 pairs of baby blue. I love baby blue and I love greens also. Anyways, so one of them has been sitting in there for a while, and some red.
Oh my God, love it.
Yeah, but I've been wearing other ones. Like, I mean, well, I've worn my pink ones to like film content out. And then like Fabletics had, shout out, not sponsored. No, I'm just kidding. But Fabletics had like a Pride collection, and I bought those.
Cool.
And I have also worn those to film like content, but to teach class, I haven't worn those. Maybe I just got to do it.
Incoming.
Yeah, I got to do it.
Incoming.
I'm gonna do that. Yeah. So